I'm always having phone issues. It's so frustrating. You know, it's really hard for me to like put on a smile and like, you know, because I'm like actually fucking homeless. And so, and then I get in these great moods for filming, and I start filming and I have phone issues, and then I'm annoyed, and then I'm just done. You know? It's like, why even fucking waste my time? I'm like literally swimming against the current any fucking ways. I'm just reminded, you know? I'm just reminded in that moment. What's the point? I'm gonna have to probably go back to smoking cigarettes. I don't have a way to charge these. I won't have a way to charge them. I don't know why my phone ain't working. Like, this is what I'm talking about. I pay for 2 different phone services. I've got 2 lines. I've got 2 lines on one phone service, and then I have that phone on a different phone service, Verizon, and none of these devices work in North Carolina, but all of these devices were purchased in North Carolina. They're supposed to run off the systems here, but they do not. Even when I first pay my phone bills, even on the Wi-Fi, I'm on McDonald's Wi-Fi right now. Look. And it still won't work. So let's get off the Wi-Fi and see if it'll work then. Because sometimes that makes it worse. Yes, that's what yeah. People say, go find Wi-Fi. What's the point? My phones don't even work on it, homie. At all. It makes it worse. It makes it worse. Yeah, it's so frustrating. It's like, what am I paying for? I need to figure out what I'm going to do about food. You know, the longer they take to repossess this truck, the more money that they're, like, drawing it out. Like, the longer I wait for them to take my truck, the longer I have to wait to make a plan. The sooner they can take the truck, then the sooner I can make a plan. Until they take the truck, then I'm stuck just wasting time and money. I can't put nothing into action because I'm still stuck with the truck, and I'm spending everything that I have in gas. So the longer I'm stuck with this truck, the longer I go without food, I go without showering, I go without things that I need, like maybe medicine for my fucking spider bite right now. Like, I need Neosporin for that, you know? I need Neosporin for that. So you get what I'm saying? When every single penny I've made goes into the gas tank, I have no money for the things that I need. So the longer I'm stuck in the truck, the longer I still don't have money for the things that I need, you know? So I'm ready for them to take it so that I can start, like, making a fucking profit. So I'll have money for food. It's pissing me off. Like, I'm literally to the point that I'm about to abandon it. I cannot afford to keep putting gas in this motherfucker. I need gas right now. I have to get gas every day, and I don't have it. I don't even have money for food. So, you know, it's going to come to a point where I might have to literally just abandon it and risk it getting towed because I don't have gas. So I can't, you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Please, like, understand what I'm fucking saying. And quite frankly, I'm tired of being goddamn hungry. I go to bed hungry, I wake up hungry. Go to bed hungry, wake up hungry. I've been through this for fucking 2 years, so at this point, I just fucking drink water and just push through it. But like, it's the dead of fucking summer. It's 90 degrees. I'm hypoglycemic. So, you know, I have to take care of myself, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks. It's like, do I suffocate to death because I don't have gas to run the AC? Or do I starve to death because I don't have money for food because I bought gas? I'm just ready to be done with it. I'm ready to be done with it. I just want them to fucking come get it or tell me what to do with it or something. Because I can't do anything until I get from out from beneath this truck. I can't do anything. I'm stuck with it, and I'm stuck in this position. And I can't get ahead because every goddamn penny I make, you know, $50 a fucking day goes to gas. So, you know. And yesterday I probably spent 60 to 70. I didn't leave the truck most of the day. It's fucking 90 degrees. I don't feel good. And my face might be rotting off from a spider bite, so probably don't need to be out in this shit. So now I'm like, well, what do I do about my insurance? Because this is another thing. So I have full coverage on this vehicle. I've always maintained full coverage for 4 years. I've always actually paid my own insurance since I was 16 years old and I got my first car. I'm very responsible. If I have the money, it goes towards my bills. That's not the problem. The problem is I can't find fucking work because the fucking economy is goddamn crashing and nobody wants to admit it because everybody wants to blame me for problems that I did not create, which is crazy. They're the ones that created them. Oh my God, it's so frustrating. It really is. At this point, I'm not looking for work because even if I found a job, I wouldn't have a car at that point. So it's purposeless. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, over 40 something thousand job applications in 3 years combined. 7, 8, 9, 10 different online agencies, websites, staffing agencies. I've wasted tens of thousands of dollars going door to door to door. I've been to 7 different states looking for work in 3 years and have not obtained a job that was legal. The 3 jobs that I found, all 3 positions wanted me to do illegal shit. A restaurant wanted me to prostitute out of the restaurant. Yeah. The owners tried to have sex with me and fly me to New Orleans to mate with them. B, I worked at a winery where the fucking winery, the owner was a raging fucking alcoholic who thought that just because I was homeless and she paid me a paycheck that she could berate me, cuss me out, treat me like shit, entice me to do evil shit. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, and then the other position was even worse. I'm not going to go into that, but pretty much I wouldn't participate in extracurricular activities, okay, at work once again. You know, yeah, those have been the opportunities. Working for sex traffickers and drug addicts. So exciting. Excuse me for not being ecstatic about the fucking job market. My experiences have been fucking horrendous. People are flat out evil. Evil. Yeah, so there's no reason to look for a job at this point because I'm not going to have a car. And even if I found a job, I wouldn't make $3,000-$4,000 in a fucking blink of an eye, you know? And that's what I would need. I would need 2.5 just for the truck payment and insurance. And then I would need another 1,000 for the gas to get back and forth to fucking work for a few weeks. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. 0 out of 5 stars. Do not recommend living in a V8 vehicle. You're going to spend thousands of dollars a month in gas. In the summertime, God, what if I never left the car? What if I had to spend $80 a day, or it'd be 70, a full tank of gas. So, so let's see, 70. Oh, and what if I was working? Yeah, that can include working too, because you're going to have gas to get to work. And hell, to get from here to where I stay is a 20-minute drive, and going here and there will fucking run me $20. Just to come into the city to get food cost me $20. Just to leave my parking spot to drive into the city to buy food and then go back cost me $20. And you have to do that 7 days a week. I have no fridge. I have no resources. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have to drive to all of your resources. So you're going to have a lot of money going to pay for that. Unless you're in a city like Jacksonville where everything is in a 2 or 3 mile radius. Yeah. 7. Yeah, sounds about right. Yep, it's about $2,000 a month. $960. It's fucking insane. One day, I'm gonna sit down and go over those gas receipts. I just want half of 23, half of 25, and 24. So it'd be 2 years. I bet I spent $40,000 to $50,000 in gas. I'm not exaggerating. I bet you. And when I find out how much I spent in that time period one day, I'll show the receipts. I bet you I spent $40,000 to $50,000 in those 2 years in gas. Now that was going from job interview to job interview. There was days, God, that I'd do 7 in-person job interviews. So I'd have to drive all the way to Greensboro, which was an hour, and then beat bop around the city to all these fucking interviews. Some of them would be anywhere from 15 to an hour apart, you know? And there were days I was filling up my gas tank twice a day. I look back and I just, you know, I wish I wouldn't have looked for work. I wouldn't be in this financial crisis if I would have never looked for work. That's my only regret, is that in my panic about becoming homeless, because when I become homeless, I had 5 jobs before I became homeless. Most of those were part-time jobs. And I was also doing my own little refurbishing furniture business, right? So when I become homeless, I lost all of those jobs but one, which was the winery. And matter of fact, I think I still had 2. I had a bartending position somewhere else as well. Anyways, I lost everything, my jobs, and I started, I guess in my panic, I was like overcompensating, so I would just take any interview, and I was applying for all kinds of jobs. Stuff that I qualified for sure, but like still anything. Nothing was below me, you know what I mean? And so I was beat bopping around to all of these interviews, and sometimes I would have to drive as far as Florida or Georgia or South Carolina, and I would go and set up weeks in advance these job interviews, and then like say I had 2 or 3 in Charleston, well then I would focus on that area for maybe like a month and go down there and do interviews and stuff, and I just never got a job. It's always the same shit, especially when you fill out the applications. I've done hundreds of in-person interviews. I've done probably hundreds of telephone interviews. And then I've filled out over 40,000 job applications. It's crazy. Indeed is a scam. Stay the fuck away from it. It's a trap. It's a lie. I'm betting that like over half of what they have on there is just fake job posting. You fucking do the 1-step click apply that attaches your resume and all of your job history and your references and everything, and you just never hear anything back. I can go through and just in a few hours I can do a few hundred applications if there's stuff on there to even apply to. But at this point I've applied to everything, and there's nothing readily available for me to apply to. And the same thing goes for Glassdoor, Snag a Job. Like it's just exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. Going forth, years from now, I'm wondering how technology is going to impact. I mean, because it's already negatively impacting the job. The way that the hiring process is, there's no personal touch to the job hiring anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you're doing hiring, you want to get a feel for the person and if they're going to be a good match for the job, and there's nothing personal about job interviews anymore. It's just a series of questions, and then excuses, or, you know, whatever, and then you never hear anything. It's crazy. It's like there's like a level of professionalism that's lacking, or personal professionalism. I don't know what to call it. I wonder what that means going forth. With everybody looking for work, everybody getting laid off, very few jobs being added in comparison to, you know, companies going out of business. I mean, at this point, I've completely given up on finding a job. It's been years of the same shit. My life has never been the same since 2020. You know, 2020, COVID took out my whole industry, and it's never recovered. And it is what it is, you know. At this point, I have zero hope of a job. But, you know, if I don't have this car, then I really don't need one. You know? I really don't need one if I don't have this car. Sure, I'm going to have to sleep in the woods, but fuck it. I might sleep peacefuler. I might sleep better with my stomach full and not stressing about how I'm going to get gas in the fucking morning. I mean, it's a daily fucking struggle. Every day I wake up, how am I going to come up with fucking $70 to live today? Because that's about what it costs to live out of a car a day. Between your food, your gas, and anything you might need in between. Yeah. That's with a V8 Chevrolet Silverado? Yes. Yes. That's what you're going to need. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm done with it. It's exhausting, not to mention everything breaking, everything falling apart. Like, I literally cannot afford to maintain it. I mean, they're not going to be able to either. They'll throw it in a junkyard. But I talked about this last year, you know. It's nothing new. Everything I'm saying, I said last year. I said this was going to come to fruition, you know. Oh, well. It sucks. It sucks to pay damn $33,000 on a vehicle and lose it before you can damn pay off the remaining like $6.5 grand. I worked hard. I tried. Clearly God has something else in store for me. I don't know what. I don't know what, but clearly I have to just trust his plan. I saw this lady this morning walking up to the state park with all these bags, and like she had stopped at the store. She had like a bag of stuff from the store. She looked like she'd been living out in the wilderness half of her life. She was probably about 60 or 70 years old. It's really sad. I don't know if she's ever been around here before, but I hate to tell her they're not going to let her stay up there on that mountain if that's what she's planning. They will arrest her before they let her camp in a state park, not unless she's paying for a camping spot. But like, yeah, they don't play that stuff around here. Oh, I need a haircut so bad. Yeah, I don't even remember what I ate yesterday. I had an orange and a banana with some peanut butter. I had some oatmeal. I had 2 or 3 packs of oatmeal because that's pretty much all I had. I know I had protein. Yeah, that's my only concern, is how I'm going to get food. Because I'm so far out in the country. There's no Uber. There's no like taxis and stuff like that out here. So that's my only concern, I guess, is how I'm going to get food every day, being so far out in the sticks. And I'm sure as hell not going into the city, because that's a death sentence. At least I can have security in the woods. You don't get that in the city. You won't be able to sleep in the city. The city is extremely dangerous. And if you're homeless, you'll have a target on your back. So yeah, I'm just ready for them to come and get this piece of shit. I guess when I get paid, I could like get a 10 or something, but I don't know how I feel about that. I feel uncomfortable with that. I don't want to put a tent in the woods. Like, that's actually extremely dangerous. Now that I'm thinking about it and I'm saying it out loud, that's extremely dangerous. That's exactly how you end up dead. Being in the same spot every night. Can't do that. Wherever I stay, I'm going to have to like go there after dark and leave before dark, so I'm not going to be getting sleep like I should, but that kind of comes with the territory. Most homeless people don't get sleep because they're living in a dangerous fucking environment. Go to your favorite fucking homeless street and go dress like a bum and sit out there and try to sleep at 2 a.m. People don't get it because they don't have to fucking live through it. It's easier to look at a homeless person and say, oh, they're on drugs, that's why they're tweaking out. No, they're fucking tweaking out because they got PTSD from living on dangerous damn streets where people target them and bully them and throw shit at them and stab them in their sleep and rob them. That's why they act like that. They're literally insane from being treated like shit by society. Some of them do drugs and alcohol, okay? And I get that too, but I'm not one of those. And I see a lot of homeless people that are not one of those either. And then you find out they were set on fire on a flipping subway in the middle of a busy ass city while everybody stood around and watched. Excuse me, I don't want to be set on fire, so I would prefer to stay my ass in the damn woods where I don't have to worry about damn being raped in my fucking sleep, okay? So food is my only concern, is how I'm going to get that. Unfortunately, the woods that I plan to stay in, they don't have an address, so it's not like I can get Walmart to drop some shit off. And it's about a half a day's walk to the city. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing, the last place that I would want to be going through this is damn Jacksonville, Florida, because of how dangerous it is down there with all of the drug problems and meth heads. It's extremely dangerous. I saw a report this morning that said they had voted and they said that Jacksonville, Florida was the boringest city in the United States. Now, I know they lying because I'm pretty sure I'm in the most boring city. Yeah, a recent study by financebuzz ranked Jacksonville, Florida as the most boring city in the U.S. out of 75 major cities. They full of shit. Listen, I don't know who financebuzz is, but I'm willing to bet that financebuzz works in an office and they never get outside. There's so much exciting stuff to do in Jacksonville. In comparison, we don't even have a park here. There ain't even a park in this shitty ass town. How many parks have we been to in Jacksonville where I can cook and walk around the beach, live life to my cheapest ability? It received an excitement score 14.3 out of 100. You know, I think y'all got a bad attitude. I think you need to be grateful, you ungrateful bastards. Ungrateful. You know, most of them people that live on the beach like that, they don't ever go to the beach. It's the craziest shit. Like, I don't get it, but whatever. A lot of them do, but a lot of them don't. Whoever wrote this study must be one of them that never get out the damn house. There's tons of stuff to do in Jacksonville. What all have we done this summer? What all have we done this summer? We ran on the beach. We went to lots of new parks, skating, canoeing. We've done some stuff, okay? Boring. I've been to the zoo there. It was beautiful. I went to the zoo before I had my channel. It was the first time, or the second time I lived there. This survey is all over the internet. The most boring city. I think you're boring if you think Jacksonville's boring, honey. They got every kind of surfing you can think of. Surfing, windsurfing, parasailing. Listen, there's like 5 more. Paddle boarding. You can take the boat out. You can take jet skis out. You can go fishing. You can pretend you're a mermaid. You can half-ass swim with the dolphins. I mean, for real, legitimately. They're like right there. There's so much to do. Parks, rec, bars, restaurants. I don't know who wrote this study, but I feel like he should be in jail. He needs to come visit Madison, North Carolina. Yeah. He needs to come hang out for a week in Madison, North Carolina, and then he can go back and do this study over again. Boring city. I think it was only out of major cities though, like Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco. You know, it was out of 75 major cities. It ranked 14.3 on the excitement score. So it's not very exciting, but I think it is. I love Jacksonville. That's home. That's forever home. So I don't know when I'm going to go back there, but I'm definitely going to end up back there. Because this place is a shithole, and the longer that I'm here, the longer I realize that this place seriously impacts my mental health. Seriously. People, places, and things is 90% of your recovery, too. So being back here for me is not an exciting thing, because I run into people all over this town, as you've already seen, that clearly have drug problems. I be like running down the street from people, you know, that have drug problems. That I don't know. That's what they do when they say you got a channel. They think you got money, and everybody wants to attach themselves to you and get you strung back out on drugs. Oh, the lives I've lived. I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, y'all paying attention? Y'all know exactly what do y'all know what I'm talking about? I hope so, because life be wild. Y'all, I need baby wipes. I do. I need baby wipes. This truck is, I don't even want to talk about it. Listen. At what point yesterday did I decide I was not getting out of the bed? Great question. I think it was like mid-afternoon, like 3 o'clock. Yeah. And I didn't. I said, I'm not doing this. And I didn't. I didn't do that. I almost didn't do that today. And tomorrow I'm wondering if I want to do that too. I'm kind of just over it. I'm so frustrated with my phones never working, with them overheating, with YouTube censoring me, with YouTube shitting my pay, with YouTube just being YouTube, you know. It's frustrating. You know, I think what makes me the maddest is that nobody talks about the actual problems that creators have. So it looks one-sided, like it's all sunshine and rainbows and everything that glitters is gold over here, like them damn plaques that everybody works so damn hard for. And you know, it's just it's extremely one-sided, and that is what angers me the most. And that's where a lot of my rage over this pay thing stems from, is that it's extremely one-sided. And you know, there's no transparency when it comes to creators being honest about the issues that they have, the pay that they make, and it's one-sided. Do you get what I'm saying? It looks all great from the outside, and then you get in it, it's like, oh shit. Oh God, what have I stepped in? You know, what have I stepped in? What is this brown matter on the bottom of my shoes? Whatever will I do? It sucks. It's so one-sided. And I just wish that there was more transparency, because, oh, full circle moment. There was a TikTok creator that was killed. Let me see if I can find it. She went to go, all right, let me paint the story. This girl was a TikTok creator. She was a fit-fluencer. But she, listen, and I'm not trying to brag, because I'm not ripped. 5 years from now, when I look back on this, I'm going to laugh when what I'm about to say, because I'm not ripped. But I will say I was in more shape than this TikTok influencer. Not that she was fat. She was just young and skinny. You could tell that she didn't actually work out. Okay, there was no muscle toneness, no muscles. You know, she just looked like the average 21-year-old skinny girl. Okay, so anyways, not knocking on her hustle. I think she had like 20,000 followers, which was great. So she was getting somewhere in her fitness tutorials and working out, and she was a work in progress just like me. So, but let me see if I can find a story. There was something else going on, because let me tell you something. She had a man, right? And she told her man, she's like, oh, I'm headed to the store to go sell this guy some pictures. At like 9 o'clock at night, honey. Y'all know nothing good happens after dark, right? Okay, I just want to be clear that if you're going to go missing, it's probably going to be after dark. They found her dead. She's dead. Her boyfriend said she never came home. She claims that she went to go meet some guy to sell him pictures. Sorry, I'm kind of glitching, because you'd have to be pretty naive to think that some man would meet some TikTok star just to meet for pictures. I've been telling y'all for 2 years that there's a whole dark underworld to these platforms where girls, in my opinion, from my experience, from the shit that I've been through and men have tried to do to me, there's a whole dark underbelly world of prostitution going on these platforms. Let me see if I can find this girl. Hold on, because I took screenshots and now I know I ain't gonna be able to find it. Hold on. TikTok star goes missing and found dead after a meeting with some guy off the internet to sell him pictures. Is it gonna come up? Yes, it was a Georgia woman. Georgia. Hold on 1 second. What's her name? Here it is. So this happened in October of last year, and I think they arrested somebody, but I'm not sure. Hold on. Fitness TikTok star kidnapped and murdered after going to Walmart to sell photos. I told y'all. How'd she meet this guy? She met him off of her platform. He sent her cash out with a little message. Here's my phone number. The same thing that I told you guys men were doing to me when I first opened my channel and they saw me homeless. She's a beautiful girl. Hold Hold on. Beautiful girl. Sorry. That guy in the middle is the guy. Her name was Zoe Rodriguez Ramirez, and his name is Angel de Jesus. I try so hard. Riviera Sanchez. It looks like he's who's been arrested for her murder. Fitness TikToker Zoe, known to loved ones as Mimi. Apparently she had like nieces or nephews. They said she was a great aunt. Went missing in Georgia last week following a reported trip to Walmart to exchange photos with someone. On Tuesday, agents with the GBI said that they found the body of the 25-year-old woman from Cornelia. And it was on the road directly in front of the Walmart where she disappeared. Listen to this. Her family told local media outlet that last week she went to the store to sell a photo to an acquaintance. It's unclear whether the photo was of her or whether it was the person she was meeting was someone, or whether the person she was meeting was someone she knew well. It was around 9:30 p.m. at night, the same time that she, a mother of a 9-year-old, was reportedly last seen at the Walmart. A bizarre text message got sent from her phone to her fiance, Julio Tover. "I'm waiting for the brother to pick him up," the text read to Tover. It was the last message he ever received from her. He says it didn't make sense. She doesn't talk like that. After she failed to come home, her boyfriend and her family reported her missing the next day, on October 23rd of 2024, and the search quickly got underway. On Monday, the GBI arrested a 24-year-old named Angelo. Is it De Jesus? Shit. Or is it? It's not De Jesus. It's not De Jesus. Is it? What if it was? Okay, I'm gonna stop. It's not. Sorry, in Atlanta. So they arrested this 24-year-old perpetrator in Atlanta on kidnapping charges related to her disappearance. He wasn't charged with murder initially because her remains hadn't been found yet. On Tuesdays, investigator and local deputies found her body with the assistance from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, prompting him to be charged with murder. It's still unclear why she was killed. She has over 35,000 followers on TikTok, and she's posted personal life videos, workout videos, and it's racked up millions of views. So one part of the story that I heard was that she moved here 6 years prior from Puerto Rico, that she had been offered a position in this great position, and so she immigrated here for this job, but it's still unclear what that job was, and I'm almost wondering if this girl was sex trafficked, because that happens a lot in that exact story. Oh, we have a job for you here in America, and then they get these girls here, and these girls are expected to sell their bodies in exchange for staying in the States and being able to become a green card holder, okay? And that is trafficking. A lot of these women that come here, they were coerced and forced into trafficking in order to stay in the States and have a life here. I don't know. It's weird. I just wanted to say that, and I don't know if this happened to Mimi, but the backstory is weird. That's all I'm saying. There's not any clear, the story is not clear. And it says here, my daughter moved here 6 years ago when Mount Vernon Mills offered her a job while she was living in Puerto Rico. But I read a different report, and I was listening to some news articles about this, and they were making it very clear that they didn't know if that was true. That was just something her mother said. They don't know exactly how she got here, if she came here for a work position, or if she was trafficked, or you know, they don't know the story. So it's weird. So they're taking her body back to U.S. Island, or they took her body. Hold on one second. I want to see what her autopsy was, because it doesn't talk about Zoe Rodriguez autopsy. Here it is, November 4th of last year. Damn, dude. So it sounds like she went to meet, in my opinion, sounded like she went to go have a hookup with this guy, probably in exchange for money and or drugs or something, and it went wrong and he killed her and he dumped her body right in front of the Walmart. Disturbing details emerge after a missing influence TikToker found dead. Damn, it took a week later to find her body and it was right in front of the damn Walmart? Tell me you don't know how to do your job, honey. I could have... Lord, put me in, coach. Put me in. I would have found her in a matter of hours. We would have started at the base of Walmart and did a circumference. It was the last place she was saw, and she was going there to meet the guy. I swear, y'all. A week it took to find her body. Her car was left parked outside the Walmart. Jesus Christ. I just, listen, if anybody that ever has a loved one that goes missing, do not wait on investigators to find your loved one. You have to take the reins and be outspoken about your loved one missing, because it's clear that all systems are down. It's crazy. And let's just remember that this was the GBI, okay? Yeah. So, what's the story? While it remains unclear whether Zoe, Mimi, was the person buying the photo at Walmart, or if this was a random attack, they charged him with murder. Hold on. I'm looking for her autopsy. This gaslit me. Okay, this tricked me. It was a catfish post. Y'all, I don't think they've released the autopsy. I don't think they've released it. Hold on. Ooh, here's another story. This is the last thing that was posted on this case, December 19th of last year. It says murder suspect's phone records led to his arrest. So she was found shot to death. So the 25-year-old single mother of one was found shot to death. Special agent with the GBI testified that Riviera was arrested at a bus stop in Atlanta with a ticket headed for Texas and a hotel reservation in Mexico. So he was fleeing. They tracked him through phone records, putting them together at his apartment, a park, a church, and finally Furniture Drive, where her body was discovered. So through phone records, they were able to see that Zoe, Mimi, and Riviera was together. I don't know if I'm saying that right. She was shot 4 times in the head. Jesus flipping. And nobody heard that in the Walmart parking lot? Tell me people don't live with blinders on. Her last contact was in a text message to her fiance, Julio Tavara, around 9:30, which is the last day she was seen alive. She told her boyfriend that she'd been taking nude photos for money to send to Riviera, but it was unclear whether those were to be taken live or in exchange electronically. You know, so she's over here lying to her boyfriend, potentially, saying, oh, I'm just selling pictures. Like, what is wrong with these young boys? That is a hard no. No. Not in this house, you won't. I'm sorry, you gotta put your foot down, honey. That's an absolute nope. No, you're not leaving this house at 9:30 at night to go meet some other man and sell him pictures, who's possibly a killer. I just don't understand what be going through people's mind. He's like, sure, honey, go ahead. Wake me up when you get back. No, don't. Anyways. So they don't know if her DNA, or they don't know if his DNA was found in the victim's automobile, under her fingernails, or on her body yet. The gun that was used to kill her has not been located, nor is her cell phone. That's it. So crazy. I'm telling y'all. Let's see if I can. I was looking to see if there was like any kind of documentary on like these platforms and prostitution, but it doesn't even look like anybody's even started talking about it. It's a huge problem. Huge problem. When I first opened my channel, I would have guys that would send me like $1 or $10 on Snapchat, and then they would attach their phone number, and it would like be some weird perverse sexual message, and like, or they'd be like, do you visit Florida? Do you visit Georgia? Like, what do you mean? Like, have I been on vacation there? Yes. Will I come to meet you? No. Like, what the flip? You know? And then people get butthurt, and then they want to start hating on your channel and hating on you because you're not a pervert like them. So I knew from my own experiences that this was a problem. But also, like, even like Onlyfans, a lot of Onlyfans models are actually prostitutes. Like, that's what they do. They escort because they don't make enough money off of OnlyFans, and so all they use OnlyFans for is a platform to prostitute themselves through their fans and their following. And I mean, it's pretty basic shit. Like, it's surprising that nobody talks about these things. And let me tell you, honey, when you're one of those girls that won't feed into that degeneracy, oh, the internet comes for you. The internet comes for you. It's crazy. So this girl, in my opinion, clearly went off to meet this guy, probably for sex. And I mean, let's think about this logically. It's 2025. We have 5G services. If she was going to sell him pictures, she could have sold him pictures with no meeting. He would have cash apped her, or sent her some money through a Western Union, honey. I don't know. A smoke signal of dollar bills. I don't know. A stork. He would have sent her some money, and she would have electronically sent these pictures, right? Who goes to meet to sell pictures when you're going to have to send them through a phone anyways? Like, there was no pictures found at the scene of the crime. And this was not like, you know, some damn 20 by 40 cutouts, honey. Okay? These weren't the type, this was not a cardboard sizable cutout of her body that she was going to sell. These were electronic pictures. Okay? She didn't have no damn 12 by 12s that she was rolling up with in a manila envelope ready to sell him that she had done signed. This was not that kind of meeting. These were not those kinds of pictures. It's weird. And if the story doesn't make sense, then it's probably not true. More than likely, this poor girl had been prostituting through TikTok since she had her channel. And more than likely, her bum-ass boyfriend, in my opinion, who probably didn't have a job, was living off of the funds of her selling her body, which is why he didn't give a shit when she went missing at 9:30 at night. And then he gets this strange text message, and he completely ignores that to the next day. You know, meeting this person, in my opinion, got her killed. These people out here ain't screwed right, honey, and this porn is literally rotting their brain. I mean, literally, scientifically speaking, literally, it rots their brain, the gray matter specifically. So these people are out here getting cross-wired with some weird shit, and then you're out here on the internet showing your life. They've done built this parasocial relationship in their head, and then they finally get to meet you, and it does not go probably either way. Either one of you planned it, and shit went down and you end up dead. And it takes them 7 days. Let's think about this, how much they cared to find her body. Her car was still parked in the Walmart parking lot. She went missing on Walmart surveillance. There should have been surveillance of her getting into his car or vice versa. Her body was located across the street in Bushland in front of the Walmart. And it took them 7 days to find her body. That's inexcusable to me. Just call me crazy. Once again, not on my watch. Would have never went down like that. That's crazy. Yeah. She, in my opinion, she drove herself to her own execution. And it's sad. And these things need to be talked about more, because these problems are happening more. And the internet is just making these problems worse. Like, people, hookup culture, dating apps, social media platforms have gotten people too comfortable with meeting people that you truly do not know. They can present one person online and be a whole completely different person in real life. Just because someone puts their life out there does not mean that you know them, even in the slightest. But that's why these girls are so comfortable going and doing this stuff, because it's normalized to just meet random people off the damn internet. They even have like friendship apps and shit nowadays. Listen, I'm good. I ain't got no memory to download nothing else, okay? I don't need another app, okay? I can't remember no more passwords. I got too many. Yeah, it's really sad. When I saw that, I couldn't believe it. I said, she went to sell pictures. If you don't get out of here with that, get out of here. Now listen, it seems like, in my opinion, from what I've heard, that her mother and her family was aware of what she was doing. And that kind of makes it even sadder, because it be your own, sometimes it's your own people that are your worst enemies in your life. Allegedly, her mother knew about her endeavors with selling pictures. Selling pictures. I wonder why he shot and killed her. Maybe he just wanted to kill somebody. Maybe they had a disagreement about money. Maybe she disrespected him and he snapped. There's no telling. No telling. It sure is sad, but these things are going to start happening more and more and more, mainly because there's no laws in place to protect victims, or there's no laws in place to protect social media creators. So these things are absolutely going to get worse, and they have in recent years. But also, the more these girls become desperate for money, the more they're going to be willing to put their lives in danger. You know, for some people like that, you know, society gives prostitutes a hard time, but most people in society have never had to struggle like most prostitutes have. Most prostitutes are victims of sexual assault and poverty and a lack of education. I don't think most prostitutes grow up and say, hey, I'm gonna be a prostitute. I think it's a matter of survival, and I think that we need to show people who have been out here having to do
unholy things to survive. I think we need to have a little more empathy towards people that are struggling. Same thing goes for the homeless community and people on drugs. Nobody wakes up and chooses to become a hot mess express. It's a factor of environmental, it's a factor of parental guidance, it's a factor of money. Money plays a huge part in how people survive in society, survive in general. I hope that most people have to never get to a point in life where they actually have to suck a dick to survive. But I can assure you that there are plenty of women and men that have to do it on a daily basis just to eat. I don't know what this girl was going through, but she didn't deserve to die. And it's sad that even with 35,000 followers on TikTok, she simply couldn't make enough money. And I went and viewed her page. She had good stuff. Very good stuff. Very similar stuff to mine. Little workout videos with music and, like, you know, her fitness journey and stuff and her daily life and things she liked to eat and, you know. And once again, she was a mother of a 9-year-old child. Now, let's think about this in math years. She was only, what, 21, 23 years old, and she's got a 9-year-old. So that right there tells me that she's been through some shit. And it seemed like she was the primary caregiver of this child. So she was stepping up and doing what she could as a mother to put food on the table. And it sounds like she didn't, you know, in my opinion, if she was striving towards achieving TikTok success, then it seems like she wanted to be able to be independent and stand on her own 2 feet. But with 35,000 followers, you're not even going to make enough money to pay for gas to get to film every day. So, you know, I don't know. I think it's a shame that she ended up dead. And thank God for technology, advances in forensic technology nowadays, because they'll be able to pin this asshole. He had to have touched the body to get her out of the car, and, you know, God knows what else he probably done to her. But yeah, even without the weapon, they have the body, and they have a timeline of her murder, and they know that she was meeting him, and they know that they were meeting to do some sort of business exchange, whether it was sex for money or pictures for money. Still not clear. In my opinion, it was sex for money. But they'll be able to convict him. They know it was him. Their cell phones being together at different locations also, it seems to appear that they had met before. So there was some of those locations that I read off. It seems like they had met at multiple locations because investigators had linked her phone and his phone being together at different locations throughout the city prior to her death. So maybe they had some sort of sexual arrangement, and they had met prior, and then this day things went the opposite way or something. I don't know. I mean, you would have to be 4 times in the head. First of all, that's not an accident. He didn't drop the gun on the floor and it hit her in the passenger seat. Second of all, that shows some anger. It does. It shows some anger to shoot her that many times. I don't know. Like I said, she could have insulted him. They could have had a disagreement about payment, or maybe the pictures that she wanted to give up. I don't know. But one thing is for sure, that acts of violence like this are preventable as long as you stay away from people that you meet off the internet. Your chances of dying are lessened by just not even meeting people off the internet. If you want to meet people, join a gym, go to the park, learn how to play some Top Golf, go in there all cute on a Friday by yourself, play Top Golf by yourself. I'm sure you'll have some friends by the end of the night. Like, get out and socialize with real people that are doing real things is my point. Stay away from nefarious internet BS, because that's what it is. Nothing, just like nothing good happens after dark, honey, nothing good happens on the internet. Same scenario, you know? It's a dangerous doggy-dog world. It's best to just don't go looking for wub in all the wrong places, okay? You don't want to roll up on a monster. And there's tons of them out there. I still don't know how many narcissists they say they are. I've heard different reports. I heard 2 out of every 200 people, which would be 1 in every 100 people. And then I also heard 1 out of every 10 people. So I don't know, but both are too dangerous for me. Both are too much. Too much. Y'all, it is hot. I'm sitting here with the air going and I can't even feel it. I wonder how hot it is. Let's see. 94 degrees. 94. Yeah, and that's another thing. I come on here and I'm like comfortable. Like, first of all, it's 90 degrees outside. I have on a tennis skirt and a sports bra. It's 90 degrees outside. So how hot does it have to be for me to just be comfortable in a sport outfit and it not be, and the internet not over sexualize me because they're perverts? I've literally sweated myself to death for 2 years during the summer because it's so hot, and people will come on here and talk shit about what I'm wearing. First of all, I'm homeless, so I like to wear thin stuff that is comfortable, that's kind of stretchy. This skirt is actually huge. I like to wear comfortable stuff, and also I'm not the type of girl that just walks around without a damn bra on. Do you have no class? Just like Medea letting them things swing in the wind, I can't do that, okay? So I wear shorts, like workout shorts and sports bras all the time, and I catch so much shit because of that. But I literally live outside. Wait till they see me in a few weeks and I'm filthy from head to toe. My hair's all fucking matted. I got a bird living on top of my head, literally with a nest. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. No, it's crazy because if you like look at the bitches on Skid Row, they're all dressed like me because it's hot. We're out in this shit from sun up to sun down. And listen, about 3 or 4 hours before the sun goes down, we're literally waiting for it to go down because we're sick of it. Most people don't get up at 5:30 a.m. when this shit is coming up and sit out there all day in this heat, and then 5 o'clock comes around, you're so ready for the sun to go down because it's so hot. Like, most people can't conceptualize it unless they live through it. Maybe that's what I should do. Should I open up a homeless tour business? Come live out in the sticks with me for 2 days. We're going to live off the land. We're going to hunt. We're going to gather. We're going to fish. No shower, no resources. Let's live like a homeless person. That's what I need to do. Open up like a touring business where I give people a week of hell in the woods. No, I'd rather stick them in the city so they can see how hard it is in the city, having to walk to all your damn resources. Imagine walking 2 miles to a store that's the only store, and then you get there and they've done closed early for the night. Now you have no water for the next 24 hours. Like, people can't conceptualize it until they go through it. It's absolutely hell, and I've already lived on the streets once, so what I'm about to go through is no isolated incident. It's actually statistically on point with what should have happened given the upbringing of my childhood. This is where most foster kids end up. That's the reality. So the fact that it took me 20 years to get here is kind of crazy, but it's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. It could be worse. I could be on drugs. I could be a shitty human. I could be living with no awareness. Yeah, so I haven't been doing anything because it's been hot and I haven't had the money to come to town, and my phones haven't been working, as you've seen by this morning's live. My phones do not work in North Carolina. They don't. Even if I drive to Greensboro, they don't work. Winston-Salem, they don't work. It sucks. I don't get it. I don't get why nobody's not complaining. I don't get it. I guess they don't work from home on their devices either, so. Yeah. I need to get like baby wipes and stuff, but it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I didn't know if Google would pay me on Saturday or not, and they didn't. I don't think they pay on the weekends. I think I'll have to wait till Monday or Tuesday. And the only thing I'm concerned about is paying my school fee, paying my cell phone, And I don't know what to do about my insurance because they're going to repossess the truck. I have full coverage. I probably just need to call and cancel my policy because they're going to get the truck any day now. So I'm not paying $150 for July. You see what I'm saying? When I'm not even going to have the truck in July. The best thing for me to do is go ahead and cancel the policy and then figure the rest out later, because I don't have an extra $150 to drop on insurance for a car that I don't have anymore. It's crazy. I think we called Allie on Friday. It was either Thursday or Friday, and I was like, hey, what's up? When are y'all coming to get the truck? He's like, you owe $2,200 now. Can you make a payment today? I said, I was heated. I've been sitting here for 2 weeks, every day, struggling, waiting on them to come get this damn car. And he says, oh, can you pay some money? Y'all think this is a joke. You think that this is a fucking joke. They better come get it before the 21st or I'm gone. They're gonna have to find it fucking maybe 15 states away. I might just take my ass out west. I'm tired. I'm sick. I'm tired of sick and being tired. I'm sick of being, y'all, I'm Riley retarded. I mean, mildly retarded. Riley retarded. I love it. I'm stealing it. I want it on a shirt. Oh my God. Riley retarded. That too. Whatever that is. I'm a lot of that. Yeah. Riley retarded. I love it. Where does this shit come from? Oh my God. Yes. I'm just sick of being with the truck because all my money goes to gas. So, I'm ready for them to come and get it because I'm stuck here. As long as they have it, I'm waiting for them to come get it. They think it's a joke. And I told him, I said, you got a few weeks. And you're going to have to be coming states away to find it, buddy. And you ain't going to get no help from me. You ain't going to get no help from me. I've been sitting here. At that point, it'll be 6 weeks. No. You better come and get it. I mean, it's kind of crazy that we called 3 weeks ago and got the tow guy. So I called. I was like, listen, I don't have the money for this shit, so you're gonna have to come and get it. And they're like, oh, well, what's your main phone number? Da 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 da. So I give them my phone number. They said that a tow guy was gonna call me. He's never called me. And then that's why I called back like Thursday or Friday, and I was like, what's going on? It's been weeks. Where y'all at? And they're like, would you like to pay $2,200 today? Y'all, sometimes I be wanting to swim to fucking India. I just want to strangle some of these people sometimes that work for Allie. It makes me so mad. It's like, are you for real right now? How are you over here working on this when I'm over here working on that, and we're not even on the same page, and you think that I'm going to miraculously be able to come up with $2,000? Let me just pull it out my ass. They do not care. They do not care at all. All they care about is money, of course. But they literally, it might be months before they come and get this truck. If that's the case, I'll be in another state, like I said, because I'm not sitting around here and dealing with this shit. I have no resources here. So, it just pissed me off. I'm like, is he for real right now? I'm sitting here waiting for y'all to come repossess this truck, and y'all are acting like I can just miraculously come up with money that I can't. It's so frustrating. The crazy thing is I wouldn't even be in this situation right now if they would have let me refinance this time last year. I had all the paperwork from YouTube, and they wouldn't even look at it. Just like they won't even look at my receipts that I've made all of my truck payments. Yeah, they're the worst company. They will not take any paperwork. And they don't work through an email system either. They use fax machines. I cannot make this shit up. It's all recorded. Horrible company. Horrible company. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, if they would have let me refinance, I wouldn't have half the problems that I have now. But no. They want to be difficult and cause problems. I cannot believe it's this hot. The whole week it's supposed to be almost 100 degrees. It will be with the heat index. Oh my God. Sherry Papini is back in the news. First of all, you crazy hussy. You had like the perfect husband, perfect life. You should have been a happy ass wife, and you're out here flandering with your ex that is nowhere remotely as attractive as your own husband. What be wrong with these people? I swear to God, you know, well-to-do people that ain't got no real problems, they create their own problems. You know, like the Murdochs. You know, remember the Murdoch people from South Carolina? Was it South Carolina? They were crazy. Sherry Papini's one of them. Sherry Papini, in a new NBC interview, admitted, convicted of faking her own kidnapping, again claims that she was kidnapped. I saw a news report with like CBS or somebody. She sat down with them and she was saying that yet again she was kidnapped. They had her ex-boyfriend's DNA on her, by the way. She was not kidnapped. She branded herself. Crazy bitch. She sure did. Hot iron. Branded her shoulder. And that was around the same time that Nexium cult had gotten branded too. Sure was. Sure was. So this guy, James Reyes, now she's trying to say that he's the one that kidnapped her. So let me just tell you backstory. So Sherry got married to this great guy. They had 2 children. Sherry goes out for a run one day, and she is assumed to have been kidnapped off the side of the road. Her husband comes home. He finds nothing but like AirPods, and it was actually the cord earphones at the time. He finds those on the side of the highway. He calls like the FBI or 911. They come out and determine that she was in fact kidnapped. Blah, 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 blah. He starts going to the media begging for whoever her abductors are to let her go. The whole time she's missing, which was like 2 or 3 weeks, I do believe. It's been since 2012 since I've even looked at this case. I think that's when it was. So it's been a while. She is shacked up with her ex-boyfriend James
And she's beating on herself and burning herself so that it looks like that she was held captive. Think about the level of psycho. Looks like an angel. Clearly not. She's 43 now, and it was 2016. She said that 2 Hispanic women abducted her and held her captive for 3 weeks. In 2022, however, she pled guilty to lying to the FBI about a fake kidnapping, and she was sentenced to 18 months in prison. Her husband then decided to divorce her, and he took the kids. And no, don't go away from me. No. Y'all, this should be wild. Like, I'm sitting here minding my business. This is some homeless guy. No, I don't, dude. I literally am like about to be walking down the. Did you see that? Scared the shit out of me. I don't know what he's looking for or what he wants, but I don't. You ain't killing me, kid. God. Anyways, somebody just knocked on the window, freaking homeless guy, and like, he looked young too. I saw him walking through the parking lot a while ago, and then he comes over here and is trying to bother me while I'm on fucking live. And they see I'm working. You can see when you walk up to the car that I'm sitting here working. So anyways, Sherry is shacked up with James as her husband and children are wondering where the hell she's at. She's beating herself. She's like literally punching herself so that she would have different stages of bruising so that it looked like she'd been held captive. She's fornicating with this mutt. And then all of a sudden she wakes up one morning and she's like, hey James, can you drop me off down the road? And he's like, sure, Sherry, no problem. Hate you're homesick. When you get back to your husband and kids, don't tell them you saw me. So he drops her off down the side of the road in the middle of the night. It's dark, it's raining. Sherry's out on the road trying to flag a car down. I can't remember if it was a man or a woman that stopped. There's a 911 call. And they're like, there's this woman out here. We think she's that woman that was held hostage. Y'all, the amount of taxpayer money that went towards this bullshit. Do you know that it took like 10 years to even figure out that this bitch was lying? It was like 8. So she's rescued. Her husband comes rushing to the hospital. And he's like trying to be all gentle and easy. Oh God, she's got PTSD. She was held captive. So investigators find this branding on the back. I think it was Sherry's shoulder. It was like a, what do they call it? A cattle prawn? A cattle iron? She had done heated that thing up and she had James stick it to her back to brand her. It was part of her elaborate story that she had been held hostage. She had marks around her arms. It looked like, and she had lost like 20, 30 pounds. So it looked like she was pale as hell, like she ain't seen the sun for weeks. It looked like to investigators that she had actually been kidnapped. Well, years later, something led to investigators, because they never found the perpetrators of these 2 Hispanic women. And so there were all of these unanswered questions, and Sherry would shut down when investigators would ask her certain things. And so then her husband, you know, kind of pulled her away from all of that, trying to bring her to a place of normalcy, thinking that she had actually been held hostage and kidnapped and been through this traumatic event. He's trying to be understanding. And so he wanted it to, you know, he wanted the investigation to stop, kind of like he wanted Sherry to hit the family so that she could heal, right? Because it seemed like it was causing PTSD symptoms. Years later, investigators, the FBI pulls her in and they're like, hey, we took DNA off your leg that night that we found you, and it matches your ex-boyfriend James. And Sherry is in there with her husband, y'all, and she is just denying everything. Girl, it'd be one thing if it was some weird guy that you've never met before that was, you know, and it was his DNA, but this was her ex-boyfriend's DNA. The chances of it being the wrong DNA and it's your ex-boyfriend's DNA is just crazy, you know? Like, mistakes happen in the lab, but that DNA being one of her exes is just too much, you know. There's no denying that it was clearly her and him shacking up together. And investigators pulled James in and they asked him questions, and James was honest about everything. He said Sherry wanted to do it because she was sick of her life. Sherry wanted a break. Sherry wanted to fornicate with not her husband. Listen, it's crazy. So now she's saying that, so she pled guilty in 2022, and now she's saying that she didn't do it, that she didn't fake this, that she was actually still kidnapped. You can't make this stuff up. Like, girl. She said, y'all listen to this. She told ABC 2 days ago, it's the first time she's been able to publicly speak since she was sentenced. She went to prison. I do believe she had some like probation, parole, house arrest, and now she's off of everything. And it's the first time she's been able to publicly speak and speak her side of the story. So, she says, I just am free now, and I have the capacity to speak for myself without being afraid and without having to lie and not being as fearful as I've been before. She said she lied to authorities about who kidnapped her because she was in an emotionally abusive relationship with her now ex-husband. Girl, that don't even make sense. What are you saying? Sherry, baby, you really went and done it this time. Sherry, baby. What? Girl, bless it. You know, I be feeling so dumb sometimes, and then I read these stories about some people, and I'm like, all right, I ain't that bad off. I ain't that. So she said that she lied about being kidnapped because she was in an emotionally abusive relationship with her now ex-husband. Now she's trying to, what's his name, Keith? Now she's trying to, yeah, Keith. Now she's trying to say that he was having an emotional affair. Oh no, she's saying that she was having an emotional affair with James. Authorities began to question Papini's kidnapping claims when they found a male DNA on her clothing. Dun 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 dun. The DNA was that of Reyes, James Reyes, who told authorities at the time that Sherry had asked him to hit her to make it immune. Some of y'all men be out here doing some weird shit for a little bit of sex. Let me tell you. How does this go down? She just walks through the front door and she's like, take your best shot. Like, what? So apparently Sherry asked James, her lover, whose house she was staying in when she was a kidnapped victim, as her husband and children worried at home for her. Apparently, James, she begged to beat her so that she would have bruises all over her body. They wanted to make it appear that she was abused during her fake kidnapping. Instead, he held a hockey... I just wish I could have been a fly on the wall. These people are crazy. He held out a hockey stick for her to run into. This is like a bad episode of Billy Madison. What is going on? He held a hockey stick for her to run into and branded her upon her request. I wonder what was going through his mind the whole time. I mean, he clearly did it, so he clearly ain't off there either. He's either A, extremely desperate, or B, he's not wired right either, okay? So, A or B. I forgot I had on mascara. Damn it. Oh my God, this is crazy. Sherry. Girl, you know you was wrong. And what did she do? 10 Years later, she digs her toes in like a damn dummy. You DMY. Damn. You know, here's the sad thing. I think that if she would have been honest with Keith that from the start, I think he would have stayed with her. He left her ass because the FBI arrested her, and that's when it blew up in her face when he found out that this man James' DNA was on her clothes and on her body. Keith could no longer deny the facts. He wasn't no longer running on feelings. And he kicked her to the curb and took the kids and the house too, I do believe, and rightfully so. So she was found 145 miles south of where she had vanished. She was emaciated with self-inflicted injuries and a chain around her waist. This is crazy. Girl. You know? Damn. Poor Keith. Poor Keith. And the kids. Imagine your mama being Sherry Papini. The drama. God. So now she's trying to say that James is the one that kidnapped her and she never told anybody because he was emotionally abusive. That's her new story in 2025. And I've heard James Ray's talk. That man did not kidnap her, y'all. That man did not kidnap. First of all, he's a goofball, okay? And I don't want to say, like, he's slow or nothing, but, like, you can tell that he lives a very lonely, work-driven life, okay? And so he was more like a blue-collar worker. I don't remember if he did, like, steel work. I know he was working crazy shifts because Sherry would be at the house by herself. A lot, and they had blacked out the windows in the house, and that's why she was pale, was because she wasn't leaving outdoors. He would bring food, they would shack up, and then he'd go back to work, okay? And she did this for, I think, 3 weeks. When they pulled him in, when the FBI went to arrest Sherry Papini, they actually did an interview with James Ray's, and it's Ray's? Anyways, he was very docile. Is that the word? He was like, he's kind of like Eeyore, you know, like, he's just down for the party. He'll do whatever you want to do as long as he's got some time to do it. You know, it don't really make a difference to him. He's pretty just chilled, lay back, you know. Eeyore, that's not a good description, but you know, he's just kind of like a frumpy hang-along, you know. Like, you can tell that his demeanor, whatever Sherry wanted is what he would do. You know what I mean? Completely different than Keith. Keith is more white collar, and there's nothing wrong with either one of these guys. I think that they both really cared about Sherry, and I think she's a psycho. I think she blew it more than twice. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, clearly. At least twice. Because both of these guys, Keith, her husband specifically, man, the way that he jumped into action back in 2016 when she was found, not only was he dealing with the media pressure, he had, you know, the cops investigating where Sherry was. He's also raising 2 children on his own because Sherry's missing. The way that he jumped into action and was an advocate for his wife is really, he should be the poster child for how a husband should act when a wife goes missing, because he did a 10 out of 10 phenomenal job for looking for Sherry. Like, and you could tell that he loved her and his kids deeply. I have no doubt that this has psychologically impacted him to the point he may never damn recover as far as like dating again or getting married, because they were together for years. I think they got together a few years before they started having children and got married, and then they had the kids. So, hold on, I'll tell you. Imagine your high school sweetheart or your college sweetheart, you find out 15 years down the road that this bitch is a psycho. I mean, it's got to be, I mean, he seems crushed. He seems crushed. I mean, if we were talking about awards for the best husband on earth in 18, Keith should have got that award for like 3 years in a row. Like, I cannot speak highly enough about how he carries himself and how he took control of the situation and how much he loved Sherry. It's disturbing that you can literally have one of the best men and just shit on him, girl. Like, I mean, you just went to town on him. You turned him into a human porta potty. His life into a human porta potty. I mean, it's disrespectful as hell. And I have no doubt that it's affected him. And I mean, he's literally cried on air before. So he is I want to say he's a sensitive guy that has deep emotions, that is aware. And it's kind of a shame to see how much Sherry has destroyed their family with her lies and her philandering. I think that Sherry was bored. That's my opinion. I think she was bored. I think she was a mom, and I think she just wanted to escape for a little while. And then she didn't. Then she got on the other side where the grass wasn't greener, and she changed her mind. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And the fact that she continues to lie about it, and now she's trying to say that the man that she was sleeping with on the side while cheating on her husband, that he kidnapped and did these horrible things to her. I mean, it's crazy. It just goes to show how complete psycho she is, that she would put both of these men in that position. Because saying these things about James Reyes, thank God investigators in the FBI have charged her and she was convicted of lying, so they know not to believe anything that she says. And thank God for that, because what if they didn't? James might be in prison for kidnapping, rape, and torture because she was literally branded. She is extremely dangerous, in my opinion. The level of evil is just, that bitch ain't got no conscience when I really think about it, now that I'm like saying these things out loud. You got to be some kind of evil bitch to say that this man that allowed you into his home so that you could escape your husband and kids, you got to be pretty fucked up to say that he tortured you, kidnapped you, and held you against your damn will, knowing good and well that if anybody believed you, it would completely ruin his life. He could spend the rest of his life in prison for those kinds of accusations. It's crazy. Yeah, she's a complete psycho. She actually deserves to still be in jail. I mean, if you want my opinion, she should have got about 10 damn years. I want her on a work farm digging railroad trenches. I don't know what they're called. I want her on a work farm where we know that her hard work is going to pay off restitution from the tax dollars that she spent with the FBI, the CIA, the local, state. Everybody enforcement was involved in this. I mean, this was national front page news back in 2016 when she went missing, and this is the only thing that was on the news until they found her weeks later. She spent so much money. Hold on, let's see. How much taxpayer money went into the Sherry Papini case? Looks like a little over $300,000. And she was ordered to pay back $309,000 to cover the restitution on this case. So that's good. When did Sherry Papini meet her husband, Keith Papini? 2006. So they met in middle school, and then they reconnected in 2006. They tied the knot 3 years later and went on to welcome 3 children. And let me tell y'all, they look from the outside like the cutest, little, most perfect, traditional couple. And she is a devil in disguise. He's a cutie. He always has been. Sorry you can't see, but they look like the cutest little couple. Yeah, so imagine a 20-year relationship. You find out in like 2023 that your wife lied about everything. She was never kidnapped. She was willingly having sex with this guy named James. I do not blame him at all. I actually feel horrible for Keith Papini. Where is Keith Papini now? I saw him talk on like Good Morning America or CBS, or he sat down with like Juju Chang or whatever. I like her. Yeah, her husband Keith said that the ordeal has traumatized their children. That's crazy. I don't know whatever happened to him, but yeah, imagine a 20-year relationship going down like that. And then she's trying to say the man she was cheating with kidnapped her. Oh, he did remarry. He remarried a lady named Lori. So it looks like he remarried after him and Sherry, after he divorced Sherry, because it says some lady named Laura. Well, good for him. Good for him. He got full custody of the children too. I mean, clearly, here's the problem. It's been since 2016 and she still fails to take any accountability. And then she changes her story 10 years later and says that James did this after the FBI discovered DNA. It's just crazy. It goes to show that, like, she never grew up. You know, people make mistakes. I think what she did was a little bit more than a mistake, but, you know, I've been there, done that. I mean, I ain't, no, I've never pulled a Sherry Papini. Let me rephrase that. I've made poor mistakes in my youth, so I get that part, but nothing that drastic like that, like faking a whole hoax that spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in resources. And then I think the most messed up part was that who she said kidnapped her. She was like alluding that these people were Hispanic, and so everybody in the California area was on the lookout for the description of these two women that they had a sketch artist that Sherry had spoken to. It's kind of fucked up. That's really messed up, you know? And the whole thing was fake. Like, she clearly wasn't very smart, because if she would have knew that she should have described a white male between the ages of 35 and 60. That would have been more believable than two Hispanic women. That's all I'm saying. Like, she clearly wasn't smart, because she couldn't even lie about who kidnapped her that good, you know? It didn't make sense. That's why investigators found that the DNA on her, was because her story did not make sense. Sherry Papini said that two Hispanic women held her hostage for weeks, that they beat her and did all these horrible things to her, and that she overheard Hispanic women talking to Hispanic men, and that they were planning to do something with her, and then they just released her in the middle of the night. That's the official story. Well, investigators knew that it was freaking weird. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. To kidnap someone, feed them, and they barely fed her, allegedly. She starved herself. To kidnap someone and then not have an end goal, if the story doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. And then the MO that we would see for someone kidnapping, even when it comes to like trafficking, sure, there's women that traffic other women, but it's not like this. This MO did not fit the MO of somebody that would complete this MO. Does that make sense? I don't know how to, you know what I mean. The MO of someone that would kidnap someone off the side of the road and hold them captive does not fit that environment. That crime does not fit the MO of the suspects that Sherry described. You know what I mean? I think I know what I mean. Weird. So that's how the FBI started digging into her story. And then she always acted like she couldn't talk about it, and it was too difficult, and da-da-da-da. And Keith, being the great husband he was like, my wife is traumatized, leave her alone. And what it was that Sherry was lying, and she couldn't get her story straight. So she just said, I got PTSD. It's crazy. The whole case is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, she deserves to still be in jail for breaking Keith's heart, okay? She deserves to be in jail for breaking Keith's heart. What a dirty whore bag. You over here shacking up with James, girl. And can I just say that James and Keith were complete polar opposites. Complete, from two different worlds. Keith was more, you know, white collar, and James was more blue collar, and they were just from different worlds. James was more of a loner. Keith was a, you know, he was a socialite. He liked to get out and socialize, had a huge family connections, you know. They were two different type of people. So, yeah. Sherry's now saying that her lover is her kidnapper. Just when you think it can't get weirder, Sherry's back in the news. Sherry. Yeah, she should have definitely got more than 18 months. Y'all, I need to go to the dollar store, but I'm slack-a-lacking. Let me make some aminos. I don't feel good. It's hot. And I can't have the air on because then you can't hear me. Can you hear me if I cut the air on? I'm sweating. My legs are sweating. Everything's sweating. What is going on with people walking up and interviewing, messing up my live streams lately? I swear. Yo, I don't know what that kid wanted, but I hope he didn't want water. He was probably asking for money. I ain't got no money. Shit. I'm about to be right out there with you next week, buddy. Right out there with you next week. Damn, I'm out of this. Skirt. Everything's so big. Did you see me running on the treadmill on Friday? My skirt was falling down. I left it in there because everything's falling off of me. So weird. I need to figure out what I'm going to eat today. I was going to drink some caffeine and see if that makes me feel better, but let's try it. Oh, I think that's aminos and caffeine. Yeah, that Brandon and that girl that I was watching on 90 Day Fiance. So, hold on. Here, I'll show you. So it's Brandon and Mary. And my phone cut off a while ago. I'm so mad about that. You know what's crazy though, is he moved to the Philippines and he was this bright-eyed, starry kid with his whole life ahead of him. There's a literal picture of him when he first moved to the Philippines. He's like, how old is he? Why ain't my Wi-Fi working? He was like 23, 22. Oh. Dude, he freaking... Look, he was this happy-go-lucky, I can't wait to move to the Philippines, and then he moves to the Philippines and gets with this girl. Y'all, the before and after is crazy. He looks like he did 5 hard years in prison. Now, that kid looks like a 30-year-old man now. It's crazy. That girl stressed him out so bad that he literally aged like 10 years in 2. Not even exaggerating. Oh, well then he gets her pregnant. Because, you know, more problems equal more happiness, I guess. I don't know. I wonder what's going to happen with them. That shit has got me so intrigued. I'm like, what is going on right now? And why is 90 Day Fiance, why don't they have like therapists and stuff that help these people with their relationships? Because they want to capture the crazy. Like Gino and whatever her name is. She's crazy. Oh God, what is her name? Yeah, we were just talking about her earlier. Anyways, yeah. These kids are about to have a rough one. They about to have a baby. He ain't working. She ain't working. Neither one of them's working. He plays video games all day. Lays around the Philippines. And now it's gotten to the point to where she's turned off by him because he's not trying to provide for the family. But he doesn't even speak Filipino, or what do they, I don't know what Filipino, what would that be? Hold on, let's see. What do they speak in the Philippines? Would it be Mandarin? Oh God, 120 languages. Can we condense it? What is the main language in the Philippines? How do you say that? Tagalog? Filipino and English. Oh, so it's just Filipino. Well, where the fuck do they speak Mandarin? Where do they speak Mandarin? Some Filipinos. Yeah, I thought so. I had friends that... Y'all, Google ain't worth a shit. Chinese Filipinos mainly speak Mandarin. But I had a friend that was from Laos also that spoke Mandarin. I've met lots of people that speak Mandarin. So anyways, he don't speak Filipino. So how's he gonna get a job? It's crazy. The whole situation. 90 Day Fiance is a good show to teach you about dating. I mean, even as far back as like Nicole and Azen, I mean, it was just crazy to watch it. It's like, what is this girl doing? Like, talk about being desperate. It's crazy. All of those shows are absolutely... The 90 Day Fiance series is so it's about foreigners finding love here in the States, and then they immigrate here under a K-1 visa, which is like a marital visa, and shit goes wild. I mean, it's unbelievable the shit that's taking place on that show. Sometimes I even question how it's legal because it's just so preposterous. When Gino and that one woman, God, it's just unbearable. But yeah, you can learn a lot by watching other people's relationships. through reality TV. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. I won't even move down the street for nobody, much less across the damn continent, homie. You got me all the way screwed up. Hell no. Move around the world. I won't even move couches for you at this point. I'm Sheldon. This is my spot. You know what I mean? Like, no, this is where I'm comfortable. You can come to me. Hell no. I won't even move sofas for you, much less continents. Hell no. It's crazy. Yeah, he looks like a hardened criminal now. That boy Brandon, the one that I showed you the picture of, that's what he looked like before he went to the Philippines. Now he looks like he's been in Rikers for 5 years. It's crazy. It's took a toll. It's took a toll. I mean, he couldn't even go take a shit by himself. The girl wanted to FaceTime him while he was on the toilet. I swear. For 2 years. For 2 years, this boy ain't breathed without this girl breathing down his throat. I don't know what he was doing moving to the Philippines to lose all of his power. You gonna go move in with her? Like, she's like several continents away, and you can't even eat, breathe, or sleep without her, and now you're gonna go move in with her in a foreign country? You know, 90 Day Fiance was like, we got our cameras. We got our cameras. We're bringing the camera. It's so bad. It's messed up. It's messed up because they're definitely exploiting these people. But to see it from the outside, it's like, it's addictive. It's addictive. It is. That's a crazy ass show, man. I don't like reality TV, but that's a good one. It's like, whoa. Yeah, I'm gonna stay single. I'm gonna stay single. At the very least, I'm not looking for love overseas, you know? Damn. We've seen some crazy stuff on that show. Yeah. Poor kid. I don't know what's gonna happen with them. It looks like they're having a baby. Oh, Lord. Y'all remember Paul? Paul from 90 Day Fiance? The weird Paul that would just take off running in the middle of a rainstorm. So weird. I think he's in jail. That girl, so, hold on one second. Let me figure out his name. This guy was so weird, you guys. He went swimming in, like, Malaysia, or it might have been the Philippines. He goes swimming, and he wraps his Tootsie Roll up in, like, saran wrap with a string around it because he believes that parasites from the water in this third world country are going to swim into his urethra. First of all, Paul was one of the weirdest. He's right up there with Ed. I think Ed takes the cake when it comes to weird people on 90 Day Fiance. By far, Ed takes the cake. But right below Ed would be Paul, in my opinion. The coddling from his mother, in my opinion, turned Paul into a weirdo. Okay? She was a helicopter parent. Paul's never stood on his own 2 feet. And he decided to go meet him a girl. I think it was the Philippines. Hold on. Who is Paul from 90 Day Fiance? Work. What was his girlfriend's name? Yeah, when he took off running, that was some of the funniest stuff. He'd run away like a toddler, y'all. Some of these shows really, really will make you feel better about life. I'm sorry, but maybe that's why they're on TV. It's to make us realize that we need to be grateful, okay? If you're not as weird as Ed, be grateful. You could have woke up being Ed. So, you piece of crap. Paul. He was on one of the first seasons, yes. I can't say his last name. Paul something. So, he married this girl, and they had a lot of problems from the very start, and he got her pregnant, and they had a couple kids. Then a couple years later, she was caught, or he was caught on home surveillance footage beating each other in front of the children. They were caught in a DV situation on footage beating each other with children close by. So they've had their controversy over the year. First of all, her name was Karine, okay? Karine and Paul from 90 Day Fiance. He was just so weird. I can't put it into words. If you've seen it, then you already know. But he almost seemed like he had he maybe had some tism. He seems like he has some deep autism, okay? That's how he acts socially. He doesn't know how to pick up on social cues properly. He doesn't know how to communicate properly. He doesn't know. He's very, very socially awkward to a point that he's creepy, okay? So I would like to just think that it's a little bit of the tism that maybe was never discovered. I don't know. He's just weird. He recently posted on social media, "I am not mentally okay. I am suffering. I need help." Well, you heard from the horse's mouth. What? In 2023, Paul was reported missing after he got lost in a jungle in Brazil. He texted his mother, Mary, he was lost, and then he stopped replying. Mary contacted the U.S. Embassy in Brazil and reported Paul as a missing person. So, as you can clearly see, Paul is incapable of standing on his own 2 feet without going missing. This is the second time he's been missing. Karine, his wife at the time, shared the news of Paul's or I guess it was his ex. I wonder if these people were on drugs or something. Seriously, this story is wild. Karine shared the news of Paul's disappearance on her Instagram to alert her followers. Shortly after, Karine alluded that Paul had died in another post. Paul resurfaced after a few days, claiming that he got into a canoeing accident and that his phone died. Listen, since these people have gotten together, this story just gets weirder and weirder. Every turn they make, it's a crazy ass story like this. And they have children. However, this was not the only time that Paul has been reported missing. In the summer of 2022, Paul and his son Pierre were out for a long drive and were reported missing by the police. Child Protective Services picked up the baby and reunited him with his brother Ethan at a foster home where they were staying. The situation was regarded as an attempted kidnapping since Paul did not have custody of either child. This must have been after him and Karine divorced, because the state stepped in and took custody of these children. Him nor Karine have custody of their children now. When I say dysfunctional, I mean it. And it's been like this from the start. And they were together for like 3 years before she had her first kid. So adults out here that knew them personally should have stepped in and prevented this BS, because clearly both of them are not well enough to take care of themselves, much less children. They both act like children when they're together. This has all been recorded. They fight like children. They ain't all right. It ain't all right. It's disturbing. Paul shared that his cousin Lindsay in December of 2023 had custody of their children and that the boys were no longer in foster care. Oh, it looks like they're still married. In March, Paul told a newspaper or some people that he and Karini were in an open marriage. Several months earlier, Paul was spotted with Karini at Disneyland. With no kids? Oh, God, you can't make this shit up. Jesus Christ. Oh, he's a pedophile? What? Stop playing. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Y'all, Paul was busted for messing with a 17-year-old girl. I told y'all he's weird. I told y'all he's weird. I said it. Paul started sharing dancing videos of himself and a 17-year-old woman named... No, go back. No. Oh, my God. Where did... With a 17-year-old woman named Isabel, Medeiros. There are rumors that Paul is dating her, though he was in his late 30s at the time. Paul then said that he was dating Isabel's aunt, who's 21. Paul, now 40, revealed that they're taking a break as of March of 2024, but it's hard to know if Paul's... These people got more drama than I can shake a stick at. Yeah, so they're one of the craziest couples that I remember. Karini and Paul. Y'all, it's a crazy show if you've never seen it. I mean, it's just insane. What? Hold on. So it says that Karini is in the United States, but Paul is in Brazil. He receives more criticism when he fled to Brazil after losing custody of his sons instead of fighting to regain custody while staying in the United States. Since then, Paul has posted many troubling rumors from Brazil, including one that suggested he went missing and died. Weird ass people. Weird. I wonder if Brandon and Mary from this new season is going to end up like Paul and Karini, because that's what it feels like already. So it looks like somebody posted that they didn't bring them back for the recent show because they were busted doing something. I don't know, y'all. It's funny. It's crazy, but it's also funny. It's like, what in the world is that TLC that runs that? What network does 90 Day Fiance run on? TLC, of course. Of course. The damn Demons in Disguise. TLC is a horrible network. That's the same people that, like, they've ruined everybody. What shows? What reality shows come out of TLC? Oh my God. So many. Sister Wives, Say Yes to the Dress, My 600-Pound Life, My Big Fat Fabulous Life, The Baldwins, 19 Kids and Counting, Little People Big World, Return to the Amish. There's tons of them. My Strange Addiction. That was actually a crazy show too. Did they do Dr. Pimple Popper? I like her. Did TLC broadcast Jazz Jennings? Did they do Jazz? Yeah. That's the main one I have a problem with. They absolutely exploited that child. Jazz is now saying that she doesn't even feel like herself anymore. She feels like someone else in the wrong body again. It's like, damn, man. And they done fucked her up so bad she'll never be normal now. And I think that's the most heartbreaking point, is that they cut her penis off, knowing good and well that without it she would never reach sexual gratification anyways. I mean, who would want to give up their ability to connect with the person that they love, who apparently hundreds of thousands of children and teenagers and tweens who are signing up for these surgeries that do not in fact create a vagina? It creates a wound. It's disturbing. And Jazz was one of those children. She was actually only 4 years old when she first came out as transgender, and then by 7 she was interviewing with people like Barbara Walters, which is concerning in itself too. And I've seen those interviews over and over and over to psychologically analyze them. Barbara Walters should be ashamed of herself for the fuckery when it comes to Jazz Jennings. The one-sided story that is told when Jazz is 7 years old is completely coerced, and Barbara Walters is on that coercion train while interviewing 7-year-old Jazz. There's a lot of people that should be in jail for child abuse. Jazz Jennings' parents are 2 of them, specifically the mother. The codependency that runs in that family is toxic to all of them. Jazz has given up, and she's in the prime of her life. And at this point, I don't know whether to call her he or she, because she that went to she from he is now saying that she or he does not feel like a she, which is to be expected when someone's been brainwashed and coerced into believing that there's somebody else. It's messed up. It's absolutely messed up. And I feel like Jazz should be able to sue TLC on the grounds that she was a juvenile and a child and could not properly make decisions that she was making at that age, and the fact that they exploited her by broadcasting all of this and using her as a guinea pig for their network. She was not old enough to be making the decisions that is broadcasted on TV. Nothing will ever change what's been done to her. Sure, certain things could be reversed. She could try to start over as a man, but it would probably take years of therapy and potentially medication and money to get back to a place where she would be able to do that. Right now, I feel like her family, her management, and everybody in her circle is her worst enemy, because they are still, you know, they don't want to admit, even, and that's what we saw on the show. When Jazz sits down with her mother, her and her mother are sitting on her bed, and Jazz is saying, I just don't feel right. I don't feel like myself. And the mother is saying, just don't think about it. Just don't think about it. So Jazz doesn't even have a space where she can go to people to express how she's feeling, because we've seen for ourselves on the show that her own family shuts down her feelings. They invalidate her feelings, and they treat her like she's a child. They know what's best for her, and they always have, right? It's gonna be hard to get her out of that situation. She would have to literally move out of that home. She would have to make a break for it completely. She would have to cut away her mother, her sister, her brothers. I think she's got a sister and a brother, right? She would have to completely go no contact with that entire family for an extended period of time to get herself psychologically back on track. That codependency, the abuse that she's living through, the propaganda, her being used as a guinea pig for the left, she would have to completely leave that environment to grow. And I just don't see how she's, how she'll do that. It sucks. It's sad. It's literally worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. I can think of nothing else worse than what she went through. To be taught as a child that you are the opposite sex, to have to pretend like that for years so that your mother and father can get notoriety on TV and money and clicks and views, and then to be the face of transgender children for over a decade. Just like JoJo Siwa and other women that have been used. Oh, Kristen Stewart, Demi Lovato, who else? JoJo Siwa, Jazz Jennings. All of these women were used to help the LGBTQ plus, and all of these women thought that they were gay, and most of those women on that list are now with men, recently come out and got a new boyfriend and decided that they weren't gay anymore, which is crazy. It was a phase. But Jazz is one of those people. Unfortunately though, she's one of the people that has been irreversibly harmed to the point that her life is irreversibly damaged. I feel so bad for her. I just want her to feel like whoever she wants to feel like. I want her to be happy being him or her. I just want her to be happy with whoever she wants to be. And it doesn't feel like she's ever been able to make those damn decisions for herself. And now her body is damaged in a way to where they stole something from her. You know what they mainly stole? The ability to connect with the person that she loves. She will never be able to achieve an orgasm. They took that from her when they cut her penis off. That's part of the surgery that people don't want to talk about. The stigma behind the surgery is that you're giving up your right to not only produce, but to also achieve an orgasm. They didn't just cut her penis off. They took one of the most precious gifts that God has given us to connect with the people that we love. It's crazy. And I feel like when she's ready to sue, I'm going to be there supporting her, because she needs to sue somebody. She was 7. Not when they cut her penis off, but when this started. And TLC, they showcased this child's transition from approximately 5, 6 to now. And now let me tell you now, the past 4 or 5 years, she slipped into such a deep flipping depression that she's put on like 200 and something pounds. She feels uncomfortable in her own skin. And recently she sat down with her own mother to tell her mother that she doesn't feel like a girl, that she feels lost in her body, that she doesn't know who she is. And her mother said, shh, shh, just don't think about it. I just want her to be happy one day. And I want her to be able to have the best possible life that she can have, given the circumstances of what they've done to her. It be your own people sometimes that let you down in life. Her mother, in my opinion, is the primary ring leader of these endeavors. She saw an opportunity. She saw the way that the LGBTQ plus movement was moving. And she used her son as a pawn in a political game for clicks and views to get popular. Oh, we'll say that he feels like a she and she's only 4, so she'll be the first transgender child that's open with parents that accept this. And that's how TLC picked it up. That's how TLC picked it up. Jazz Jennings was the poster child for transgender kids. She was the first one that came out that was open with accepting parents, that was paying for this gender affirming care, and all of this was broadcast on TLC, and they absolutely harmed that child. It's all on camera. When I go back and I watch the episodes all the time, when I go back and watch the episodes, it's very clear to see the toxic family dynamic, and the mother was the primary reason that these things took place in Jazz's life. The father, he's guilty by damn association and by not doing anything. You know, I don't know. I'm with Elon on this one. I draw the line at allowing our children to harm themselves. You know? It's one thing if your kid wants to dress up like an emo and wear black eyeliner in high school. It's a whole different thing than when they want to they want to do something to their body that is irreversible, that you can't change later on down the road. That's when a parent has to step up and be a parent and say absolutely not. Like, and at the very least, if you do support that behavior, at the very least, as a parent, you would do your research and make sure that your children are not getting, you know, bad hormones or going through, you know, the black web to get stuff. You would, I mean, if you want to support your child in transitioning, I feel like there's a healthier way to go about it than what parents do today, is my point. So, I feel horrible for Jazz. It's so messed up. You know, just imagine now that you're in your, your tween peak. You're 18, 20 years old. You're watching all your friends date. You're watching your friends get married. Some go off to college and graduate. And all of a sudden, after a 12 or 15 year endeavor of trying to make this huge physical change to your body, all of a sudden you hit your sexual peak as a male, which is 18 years of age. For women, it's 32. Isn't that crazy? Men hit their sexual peak at around 18. Women don't hit it till 32. God has jokes. He does. He's got massive jokes. So this is biologically an 18, 19-year-old male, and he's hitting his sexual peak. However, he has changed to a she, and now he is hitting his sexual peak, realizing that he's actually attracted to women and not men, but he's trapped in a female body with now a vagina. Talking about forbidden love, that's impossible love. Unless, you know, I guess, you know, there's always room for love, but it depends on the dynamics of how Jazz is feeling, really. And if she, in fact, is feeling like a man and not a woman and is attracted to women, it's going to be problematic that she looks like a woman and has women's organs. And it's got to be difficult if that's, in fact, how she's feeling. And I'm alleging this because of her sit-down meeting with her mother, where she tries to express to her mother that she doesn't feel like her and that she's really struggling internally and psychologically with these feelings that she's having. And her mother pretty much tells her to shut up. Just don't think about it. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just hope that she doesn't end up being one of the ones that dies young. These things seriously psychologically impact these people. It throws them into a state of depression and despair when they don't feel connected to the rest of the world because they feel so different. I just hope that she finds happiness and peace, because she deserves it, because she's been a victim. She's been a victim. I've been seeing a lot of detransitioning stories lately. They're pretty wild. It's really disturbing. I saw another guy the other day who they had changed into a girl, and then he flipped back to a guy. And he pretty much said that his parents, who were two gay guys, they pushed it on him from an early age. Like his earliest memories were of them putting him in dresses and little, dress up outfits and stuff. And he talks about how he felt like he had to play a part in order to receive their love. It's absolutely child abuse. 100% child abuse. I'm not saying all kids that are going through this. I'm just saying the horror stories from people like Jazz and this other guy that I'm talking about. It's clearly there's a parental guidance into this behavior, It's not acceptable. And when parents are guiding their children into this, and they're holding their love for their children over their heads, that's abuse. And it's past abuse. I mean, that's psychological torture on a young mind. A developing brain, playing games with them like that. The amount of uncertainty and fear that installs in a child, no child deserves to feel like that. And in my opinion, that's probably how Jazz has felt for the majority of her life. Imagine being the cash cow, because she was. TLC paid all of their bills. They lived in a very nice house. I do think that her parents worked prior and they come from money. But there's no doubt that all of the contracts, brands deals, social media posts, like Jazz she has been the cash cow for the family for over 10 years. So that show brought in the family millions, endorsements, brands deals, stuff like that. So to put that on a 7-year-old child, it can't be good for them. And then the added aspect of transitioning this baby on national television, it's crazy. People call me crazy, but I would never. I would have been the first one. Like, absolutely not. This is This is abusive, and you want me to film child abuse? I mean, I'm glad that it's there now. I'm glad that TLC, all of those episodes are still up. But it's heartbreaking, because it showcases years of child abuse. It does. And society clapped for it like seals. Nobody spoke up for baby Jazz. It be your own fucking people, y'all. Your own people. Who's gonna do you dirty? Who's gonna stab you in the back? Somebody you know. Somebody you know. Somebody you know. Poor child. I'm about to run. I don't know what I need to do. I guess nothing. What can I do? Nothing. Nothing. Be grateful I'm alive. I might try to venture into Walmart to see if I can get an avocado and some tomatoes. I always say that, and then I get in there and I get frustrated with the prices, and I put everything back on the shelf and I stomp out like a toddler. You know why? Because I'm going to find somebody that wants a kidney so that I can go back in there and buy my groceries. That's why I leave. I still ain't found anybody yet, Apparently I need to go to like another country to get rid of an organ so I can finance groceries in the West. Is there a black market in the West for some kidneys? I got one to spare. I got a kidney to spare. It's so for real though. And they're talking about gas going back up and everything else getting expensive as well. But things are getting better. They're getting better. As I'm literally going to live on the streets. Things are getting better. It'll get better. Just smile and pray. It'll get better. Sorry, I have to be facetious because I have to. It's how I deal with it. But I love you guys. And I hope that y'all have a good Sunday. I'm going to go do nothing. Yeah, do nothing. nothing to do on this Sunday. Stay cool. It says 91 degrees, so I'm gonna do that. But we'll talk later. I hope y'all have a good afternoon. Happy Sunday, and pray for me because God knows I need it, and I'm praying for y'all. Bye, y'all. Bye.